There's NorCal. How are you, NorCal? Thank you. We're waiting for Marty. How are you, Al? Royal, welcome. Give it a few minutes. Let Marty. If you guys don't know, I'm Wild West. I'm the host of a new show. So what we do is it's a leadership show. What would you do? I give scenarios out, and the two guests that are in the box just gives what would they do? How would they handle that situation? And towards the end, I do a couple of interview questions that are a little bit funny. So yeah, just to see, and they really gear up on really how would you react to that interview question and what type of analytical skills you would do. So I do this show every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Thank you. We're waiting on Marty. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hey, Busy, welcome. Actually from Houston. Thank you, Vegas. We'll start once I see Marty come in. Okay, perfect. Thank you, NorCal. Oh, Alexa, thank you. There's Marty. How are you, Marty? Welcome. So I'll just go back over my promo. I'm Wild West. This is the show I host every Thursday night, 8 p.m. This is a leadership show. It's basically gives scenarios on how you would handle a situation. And when I come in, I will ask one of the guests to come in. I'll ask a couple of questions, let them introduce themselves, ask a couple of questions, and then we'll let the next guest come in, and then we'll kick off the scenario. NorCal, come on in.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me to be a guest on your show. I am NorCal. I am the DJ battle host on the app. I have 18 battles under my belt. I'm an admin for a bunch of featured shows. Been on the app for 3.5 years. Absolutely love live streaming. And I am super, super excited to be on Wild West Show. We are going to have an amazing show tonight. We also have Marty Party, who is the #1 streamer on the app, who's going to join us in the other box. And I am super excited to be on the show with him as well.
So, Marty, if you want to go ahead and request the box. I'll let Marty do a quick introduction.
Thank you, Al. Marty, Marty, Marty. Your Wi-Fi is acting up. You're going to have to re-request the box. As we're waiting for Marty Party to re-request the box.
Hi,
Marty.
Hey, Marty.
hey guys, everybody. Don't you know me, Marty Party. I'm top badge / boss badge. I've been on the app for almost 3.5 years now, Yeah, thanks NorCal for the kind words. I appreciate it. Thanks Wild West for having me on the show.
Well, I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy, NorCal. I know you're busy with everything you're doing. So let's kick it off. A couple of questions that I'd like to ask, so everybody in the stream kind of knows. Um, what does leadership mean to you?
Okay.
I'll have Marty go first since he's the #1 streamer on the app.
Okay. Well, I think leadership means that you're setting an example for the rest of your team. Everybody who reports to you, they look up to you. They look at your actions. Also, leadership means that you're mentoring people, you're training people to so that they can do their jobs. Also, you're looking at the big picture to make sure that the company achieves its goals as well.
NorCal?
Absolutely. I totally agree with Marty. He took the words right out of my mouth. Leadership is definitely something that it's not your way or the highway. You definitely have to be able to understand the needs of your individuals that you are supervising so that they can excel and do their job. This is not an this is teamwork, and leadership is not something to take lightly. You want to get the best performance out of the individuals that you're either mentoring or you're supervising or you've hired in HR. Definitely have to listen more than talk sometimes in leadership.
Yeah, it's lead by example, right? It's really lead by example, right? I wouldn't have you do anything I wouldn't do, right? So do you think a leader is born or made?
Well, I was born ready. I really honestly believe that you have experience points. They're kind of like the XP and the SP on the app. You get them along the way. And it's one of those things where, it can be something that you learn by paying attention to, someone who's already been there and done that, like a mentor. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally agree. I have a lot of mentors that's helped me along the way. Marty?
I think it's both. You have to be born with a certain skill set, the certain outlook, a certain personality, but at the same token, you have to develop. A lot of people, they're born with natural leadership abilities, but they don't have the motivation maybe to put themselves in the position, or maybe they have bad mentors. So I think you need to have something that you're born with as well as something that's developed.
Yeah, my last question, the difference between, I think both of you already answered it, the difference between management and leadership, right? Both of you kind of answered it on the first question. Leadership is leading by example, being in front, and your management is basically telling someone what to do, right?
So yeah, I'm not too good to take out the trash, so if that gives you an idea of a leader, don't be too snobbish that you're too good to step down and help out. And if the trash needs to be taken out, take out the trash. Take it out.
Yeah. So go ahead, Marty.
Yeah. I think the importance is that if you're in leadership, you have to look out big picture. You're looking at the company as a whole, the employees as a whole. If you're a manager, you're responsible for certain people. You're making sure that certain tasks get done by delegating authority. You may or may not have the big picture at hand, but you're basically just in charge probably of a specific function, within the company.
So that'll lead into my first scenario. My first scenario is if you're brought into a well-established organization, right, and you're asked to shake things up, make some differences. We're trying to get into the new century. Everything nowadays in companies, it's innovation, It's innovation, and how do we innovate, right?
Right.
If you were brought into that, into an organization, and you were told to evaluate and shake things up and bring what you need, and whether that be tools, technology, whatever it is, right? How would you approach that? What would be your first 30, 60, 90 days into that?
Mm.
Yeah. I think.
I can give an example being in the medical field. Um, but if Marty wants to go first, he can go ahead.
Go ahead, NorCal. Go ahead.
Okay, there's a little bit of lag, but no worries. So being in the medical field, I run a surgery floor, and with every practice, you are held to a high standards, and that is with OSHA, that is with policies and procedures, potential risk and limitations. You've got a lot of facets. The first 90 days for me is just really, I think, organizing, streamlining, setting up systems, making sure that everything is up to date, and that we are giving a high standard and quality care to our patients. And when I come on to a practice, on board with the practice, I try to make it where everyone um, uh, can communicate openly. I like to hear what didn't work in the past. Um, it seems like as a supervisor, it's more like the complaint department is open, you know, and then you kind of work in different directions to make sure that everybody has what they need in order to function. Because sometimes you have bad supervisors that neglect um, your staff members, and that would be the first thing for me to do.
Oh, Marty?
That's the first thing that I would do is interview all the key players at the company to see what is it that they're responsible for, how do they currently do things, if they have any ideas for improvement. A lot of times people are scared to bring up new things because they don't want to upset the apple cart, especially if they're reporting to someone who's been there for a long time, or maybe they asked for something and were told no. I think when you come in, a lot of times people are willing to tell you what it is that they need that couldn't improve things. Sometimes it might be a financial thing. They need more money for certain technology. Sometimes they might need more additional people. Maybe they're outsourcing something and they can bring something in. Maybe they have something in that could be outsourced. So you want to go and talk to all the people that are reporting to you to see exactly what their ideas are. Also, I like to kind of see who is it that I would be able to work with and who is it that I wouldn't be able to work with, because sometimes you need to bring in your own people or find other people who are going to replace someone, because there could be someone who's been there for a long time who maybe no one got rid of that person because they just didn't want to deal with it. Usually when somebody new comes in, people expect that they may lose their position. So now that's the best time. I've been on the end where new people have come in and I lost my role. Sometimes it's nothing that I did that was wrong, but they just wanted to bring their own person, or maybe they just didn't think they could work with me. That could be the opposite too.
And I agree. And I'm in the medical field too, NorCal. So the first thing, I've taken on a lot of different departments over my 4 years at this hospital, and the first thing I do is I evaluate for 2 weeks. Right, I interview, I talk to everybody because I don't want to put everybody in a room, because you got the loudmouth people,
Mhm.
and you got the people that just won't say anything because they're not being listened to. Right, but
Very
I
true.
think every employee should be valued and have that one-on-one conversation where
Mhm.
it's an open door, it's an open dialogue policy that listen to it, right? Listen to how we can improve, because some of those silent people have great ideas. They just never been heard.
Right.
Very, very true. Everybody wants to be heard. Even and it goes beyond the career. It goes into your personal life. Everybody wants to be heard, and that's a very small thing when you look at it, but it's pretty big to them.
Yeah, it means a lot to be heard. Yeah, it means a lot. If somebody cares, they've got a leader that actually cares about and starts implementing and moving forward, right? So yeah, so that's a big thing. I've taken on a lot of new departments, so I've just took on two more new ones this last
Uh,
week, and I'm trying to figure out how to improve it. Right, it's always about improving innovation. So before I get into the second scenario, I want to let you know this is my show. If you're brand new coming in, this is my show. What would you do? I do this. I do this every Thursday night at 8 p.m. I've got two new guests next week. I think it's Jenny and Blake Premier.
hmm,
Love
So
them both.
yeah.
great. Awesome.
Super excited. I'll be here.
So welcome everybody. I appreciate it. And two fantastic guests in the box, NorCal, and
Oh,
if
thank
you
you.
guys don't know them. So let's walk into the next scenario. Uh, Here's one. What if your good friend causes trouble in the company, or it could be a string, right? How would you handle it? How would you approach that? What would you do?
Oof. Oof.
Yeah,
Oof. That's always a challenge, especially in the streaming world, right?
yeah. Well, it's the same thing in corporate world too, right?
We unbounce them, we make them blue, and then we kick them out. Isn't that what we do? No, just
Well,
kidding.
sometimes you do
I'm
it.
kidding. I'm kidding. I want to.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're saying that so you have a
I think we've all had that experience where we.
yeah.
Go ahead, Mark.
So you're saying you have a friend that's working for you at the company, and your friend is causing problems. So
Correct.
what types of problems? Like coming in late and taking long lunches, leaving early, not getting the work done, things like that. Pretty much.
Yeah, they're just not doing what you hired them to do. You know, whatever that be late. Take advantage of your kindness and your
Mm,
friendship outside, right? Because
Mhm.
at the end of the day, streaming's a business. You know, the business world is a business, right? And separating that personal with from the business.
Yeah. Sometimes I
it's
find
a
that when
very
people,
hard task, and my thing, yeah.
yeah, sometimes I feel that when someone's doing a bad job, they're just not happy. They just don't like it. Maybe because they're your friend, they don't want to quit on you, but they're just there. They're just kind of going through the motions. Maybe it's just like a really long day. They're just trying to make it through. Maybe so yeah, I think it's important to find out from them. Do you really like what you're doing? Maybe it could be finding them another position. Maybe be a little bit like if it's totally not going to work out, at least say, hey, I don't think it's working out here. Maybe try to see if they can at least find something else, or at least give them something. It's hard. You don't want to fire them on the spot because you ruin a friendship. I think you do have to treat them a little bit differently, but at the same token, if they're not going to work out, you want to get them out, however you need to, so they can do something else.
Yep. NorCal.
So for work, obviously in the medical field, there's a lot of women who work in the medical field. Kudos to all the men who put up with us. Um, it can get a little catty at work, just with, the normal, coworkers that are not your friends, that you don't have them on Facebook or Instagram, or you're going out, um, on the weekends with them, and they're inviting you to parties. I stick to a rule, and it's my coworkers are not my friends. And I really would love to hire friends and give them an opportunity, but that that is going to be such a hard spot to put yourself in. Um, for example, if things do go bad, because your relationship will can be broken, over. either having to move, even having to reprimand them and write them up, or remove them from their position, or put them in a different department. It's just, I honestly believe that your coworkers are really not your friends. They are your coworkers. I get a lot of individuals who come on board, and right away they see that I'm friendly and I'm personable, and they want to add me to Instagram, and they want to know everything about me, and they want, to invite me out and have lunch and go here and go there. And I really, honestly, as a supervisor, I try to hold myself up to a higher standard, that I stay away from that, because then it ends up becoming favoritism. And when you have favoritism, then you have other disgruntled coworkers who will come at you sideways, stating that you gave your friend priority over me. And it just becomes such a stickler situation. I've had a lot of friendships in the medical field, and I've lost a lot of friendships in the medical field. And I really do try to keep it very professional, and not make it where we're making long life friends. You can, and that's your personal choice. For me, it's a very hard position to put myself in. And as far as the stream, I've had bouncers in my stream that are my friends, individuals that I've met out in the real world. Um, and if there's any type of drama, or they've kicked someone out that I didn't want kicked out, or if there's something that is not going accordingly to like my rules in my stream, I kind of do that offline, kind of let them know, hey, they didn't deserve to be kicked out. I will, unblock them, but next time please ask me, and then leave it at that. And if there's any other situation, then we'll discuss that offline. I think a lot of people on live streaming, um, they have a little bit of that up front, that a little bit of that drama, um, where they can water it down and take it offline so it doesn't disrupt their stream, and keep it where the content still is coming without that drama. But we can't avoid it. It's live streaming. We can't avoid it in our personal lives. It's our personal lives. We can't avoid it um, in our careers, but it's how you react is going to be the key ingredient. Um, it's going to continue to come, but just don't react uh, with emotions. React later when you've had some time to think about it, and that you can approach someone. And if you can't work it out, then you can't work it out. Do your best.
Yeah,
That's all I can say.
I'm like you, NorCal. I don't make it personal. No Facebook, no Instagram, none of that stuff. I don't, LinkedIn's a whole different ball game, right? That's a professional, social media. Um, I think one of the hardest, and I've had it, both in business and streaming, that take that you don't want to blow it up in front of everybody that's there, right? You don't want to make an issue of it. I agree. Take it offline, have that conversation. And a lot of times Marty's exactly right. It's a lot of times they're not happy, but they're friends and they don't want to leave you and all that. Then have that conversation. It's how do we make you better? What is it you want to do? How do we help you out? Right? Because there's a reason, if they were a friend, there's a reason why I brought them on, because they're trusted, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but how, I can't have the real close friends at work because of what I have to, what I'm at an executive level at at the hospital, and sometimes I got to bring bad news, right? And all that type of thing, and I can't let it be because you're a friend, I deal with it a different way. No, everybody's treated the same, and I want everybody to be treated the same. It's fair. So yeah, I totally agree with both, with both what both of you said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's tough, and I try not to do I try not to do friends at work. I mean, I socialize. I go out to I'll do a happy hour every month for the team because I think you need downtime. I think you need interaction outside of the business world to have those conversations and know the personalities and know you know what the individuals. So I think that's important, but it's very important not to get that close.
Mm-hmm. Team building is good. Going out and having a bite to eat is great. But when you're going and doing things that are over and beyond your professional relationship, I think is a bad idea. It's just kind of like the same thing like dating. Wouldn't want to be dating at work.
No,
Causes a lot of problems.
yeah, it causes some drama. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but the other part, the other side of it, right, is like I can give you an example. One of my top leaders, right, all of a sudden started slacking. He wasn't doing what he always was a high performer, right? So I caught him off. I called him after hours, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And found out he was going through a divorce.
Oh,
Yeah, he's going through a divorce. So instead of I just gave him time off. We'll figure it out. Get through your problems,
mm-hmm.
right? Because it's affecting people look up to you, and you coming in with a negative attitude affects the people that work for you.
That is very true. Your
Yeah,
personal problems do come into the workplace.
yeah, and it's paying attention to you. It's paying attention to those people. The people that work for you and trust you. Paying attention when something's a little off. How do you what do you do? What do you do? How do you account for it? I mean, what's your next steps?
We're writing everybody up. Just
I do
kidding.
not like doing performance plans at all. I do not like doing that. I think conversations
You
go
have
on.
a write up. You have a write up. Marty, I'm writing you up too. That's it. That's it.
I do not like doing performance plans. So, guys, before we get into the third scenario, I'm Wild West. I'm your host. This is my show I do every Thursday night, 8 p.m. It's What Would You Do? It's presenting leadership scenarios, right? There's no right or wrong answer to it. It's just around the table with some of the top people that are streaming right now. We've had a lot of good guests and things, and just getting opinions and getting ideas, and we've all gone through it. We've all gone through it. And
Mhm.
let me tell you how this show really started is we were having a problem with one of our family members, right? And we all got into a box and started talking about how would we handle it? What would we do? And it was real fun, and the viewers loved it. And I'm like, why not create a show like this? So that's kind of how my show I kind of kicked off. So let's
No, I
go.
think it's a great idea. I think it's,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
get
when you it's kind of like a think tank and everyone has their opinion and everyone's a contributor to the topic for sure.
but it's no right or wrong answers, right?
Hmm.
Everyone has their way of, their type of leaders, their leadership styles. So there's no right or wrong. So I'll go into the third scenario. What if you invested a lot of time, money, effort into somebody, and
Mhm.
they longer they turn on you, or they no longer they leave the company, or
Mm,
whatever it is, you've given a lot of time and effort to somebody.
Mhm.
that's a hard one.
Yeah,
Yeah. An investment, definitely when you invest. Yeah. Um, I think we've all been there, you know. We've all been there in our careers, our personal life, our, relationships, streaming. The disappointment is real. That's a real thing. Um, I think every situation's different. You know, for me, I don't like drama. I don't like confronting someone. I'm not a confrontational person. Um, I probably would, at work, obviously it's not going to be a money investment. It would definitely be an investment of my time and energy teaching someone. And I've been there. We just fired someone at work. And she had a lot of problems. And she was going through a divorce. And she, disclosed that she was living in a hotel because she was kicked out of her home. She had nowhere to live. And she was supported financially by the doctor. He paid for her hotel room. And, but she still, her personal problems were continuing to come into the work environment. Therefore, she wasn't able to complete her task. She wasn't able to um, emotionally, mentally, and physically be there. So it got to the point where a lot of things were slipping through the cracks, and it got to where when you're working in the medical field, you can't really have that happen.
Right.
So we had to let her go, and it was a blessing. We ended up getting someone who did not have the personal issues coming into the workplace. But there was a lot of training, um, and I don't think that she was very honest about her situation before we hired her. You know, I think
Also,
that
she
she
had
was,
the situation walking in.
yes. So she was going through a divorce and living in a hotel room, and kind of fibbed on where she was living and what her situation was, which that doesn't really matter when you're hiring, but it would be nice to know that when you start out the gate, that it's going to be a healthy uh, work environment. It's a win-win. We're giving her that healthy work environment, and for her to leave her problems at the door. So yes, that was the scenario that I'm going to give you. It is really unfortunate that we had to let her go. She obviously collected some unemployment, so she had some a wait time of 2 weeks, but she had some financial backing to help her through her transition. And I try to be as professional as possible at work when we make that decision to let someone go, because we do depend on all of our team members to not drop the ball and not let things slip through the cracks. Um, that was a hard decision, but that had to happen. As far as streaming, we've all invested in people and relationships on the app are have different dynamics. Um, again, it's a little bit different than the workplace. Um, we tend to gravitate to the people that we vibe with, obviously, in the community that we vibe with. Um, and I think that would be my biggest advice for anybody who is out in the streaming world. Um, Block and protect. Stay away from the toxic people. Stay away from the drama. And if you invested and the investment didn't come back either in diamonds or financial or friendships or them keeping their word, it's okay. Just move on. There's no need to continue that relationship. Um, and sometimes we have to end relationships. You know,
Yeah.
everywhere we go, and that's in general. Any relationship that's out there, sometimes it does come to an end. The only thing that is going to last is death and taxes. That that's pretty much how it's going to go. So enjoy the moment that you have with people on the app for sure. But if you have to let a relationship go, I think to be the better person and think of the good times versus the bad times. Um, and people move on. The app is a revolving door. I've been on the app for 3.5 years, and I absolutely love streaming. I've seen a lot of people leave and come back. Um, and they're coming back for a reason. You know, they're coming back because this is for a community or a person, or you know, they're wanting to have fun, whatever the reason it is.
Yeah.
I've come back a couple of times on the app, and you know, like I said, I really enjoy live streaming, and I try to keep the closest people around me, who support me, closer, and embrace them and support them as much as they support me, and that's a win-win. So look for the win-wins, um, and sometimes you just gotta.
Yeah. You walk away. Yeah. Nothing you could do.
Mhm.
Marty?
Yeah, so yeah, it happens like in the workplace and on streaming. You invest a lot of time and money in somebody, but sometimes when people walk away, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I know, like from public accounting, a lot of times you're spending a lot of time and you're investing a lot of money and capital and people right out of school, and they're not going to last more than a couple years. But what you hope is that you have a good relationship. You know, if they leave on their own or if you let them go because it's not working out, you want them to wind up at a company, potentially a client or a prospective client, so that you can have the relationship. You know, I've been in both public accounting and in corporate. You know, it's nice being in corporate. You don't have to work as many hours, your salaries are higher, um, and you kind of have the interaction with those people who are in public, who are actually doing the work for you. You know, more or less the consultants. So um, you know, that types of thing happens, and not everybody that you invest you know, time and money in is going to make it. You know, with regards to the app, you know, I spent a lot of time and money investing in streamers, and all that I hope is that the person continues to be on the app. I don't care if it doesn't work out, if the person, you know, doesn't, you know, want to visit my stream or says bad things about me, that's fine. But as long as they're on the app,
Mhm.
then people will see my investment. The worst thing that would happen is that somebody deletes their account, because then there's no record of you doing anything for that person. You know, same thing, you know, like at you're at a company, you're investing in somebody. If that person totally leaves the industry altogether and you have no interaction, you know, with that person whatsoever, you get absolutely nothing, you know, out of it. That's the worst. But even if they go to a competitor, it's not a bad thing. You know, as long as they're still doing what you're doing and they appreciate the time and the investment that you made in them, I mean, you know, that's okay. It happens all the time.
Yeah, and I agree with the business because that networking goes a long way,
Right,
especially if
exactly.
yes, networking goes a long, long way, and you know,
Absolutely, absolutely.
with the
Yes.
streaming, you know, I go by brand new streamers all the time and go out and help support them and build them up. But how many people has come to me that they're leaving the app and you know
Hmm.
they
Mhm.
just need a little encouragement, right? So going out there showing a little bit of love, investing because you know at the end of the day, our time is valuable. Our time is our time is valuable. If we're showing up there, our time is valuable. We could be somewhere else. We could be investing in something totally different, right? If I'm spending, you know, whether that be diamonds or just talking or chatting or whatever it is, it's valuable. It's very valuable,
Yeah.
right?
And
And
yeah, I think
Yes.
that people kind of
Your
forget
personal time
that
is the most
time is
valuable
more
time
important.
that you have.
Yeah. Like sometimes when I'm spending an hour in your stream, you can't look at how many diamonds that I've given you. The time of having a big streamer and a big supporter be in your stream for a long time. Maybe by me being in your stream, you might have had a great
Mm-hmm.
stream, even if I'm not the only one who contributed to it. You know, a lot of times people they say, "Hey, you know, how come I gave you more than you gave me?" You know, they look at the boards only. They say, "Yeah, I gave you 1 million, you gave me 200K." I'm like,
yeah,
well, I mean, I would spend an hour, you know, in your stream. You know, I would support you in battles to kind of make them more fun. I would encourage people to support you who might not have. There are all sorts of factors that got to look at. Time, you know, is the most important thing when you have streamers coming into your stream to hang out and talk, add to the conversation. They don't have to give a lot as long as they keep it going, to encourage others. That's more important than somebody coming in, dropping a dragon, and then leaving.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. The investment showing up in people's streams and things of that nature is a lot. Means it really means a lot without having to drop anything, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree with Marty as well. I think because we're OGs on the app and we've been on the app for years, we've seen a lot
Mhm.
go down on the app. And I think it's our responsibility. We're kind of like the seniors in high school, and the freshmen are coming on board. The new streamers are the freshmen. And I think we have a responsibility to them, to kind of show them the ropes. And we were there at one point in time.
Mhm.
We pop in and we're like, what is this? They're dropping dragons, rolling out carpets, flying in jets. It's a party in every single stream. Um, and if we didn't do that, and if we didn't help out the smaller streamers, there would not be a community, there would not be an app, because it's really hard to navigate the app just
Yeah.
coming on board, as we all know. And it's nice to have a bigger streamer take you underneath their wing
Mhm.
and help you learn, how to navigate the
Yeah.
just even pushing XP and SP and all these new fancy ding buttons that they put on the app that I sometimes have a problem learning because there's just so many new features that are being rolled out. But like I said, we all have a responsibility as a seasoned streamer to assist the little ones, the little freshmen on the app,
Well,
especially.
I want to give appreciation to Marty because I remember I was streaming 2 weeks, and I sent a battle to Marty. It wasn't a battle it wasn't a battle for diamonds or anything. I sent a battle just to ask questions,
Mhm.
right? What do I need
Right.
to do? How do I need to
Mhm.
go about this? And Marty was gracious enough to accept the battle and really help me build my stream up and help me, these little guidance, right?
Mhm.
And invested that time, to help out me. I was a nobody streamer, right? I was a gifter on the
Yeah.
app, but I was a nobody streamer, right? And I appreciate that, Marty. I never forget that, man. I
Oh, yeah,
definitely
you're welcome.
appreciate that.
I'm glad.
Kudos
Definitely.
to you, Marty. You are amazing with giving out information to people.
Yeah, I used to
We're
have
all
people.
competitive on the app, but if you sit, yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I first started. I would have people call me, message me. I would when I wasn't working, I'd be on the phone with people for hours, going step by step, telling them everything. I don't have
Mhm.
the time to do that now, but some of the people, like Wild West, they remember the guidance that I gave people. Sometimes I would understand what their goal is, and I would be like, well, if that's your goal, I don't think you're going to be happy. So either you change your goal or you do something. You just do something else. And sometimes people they have something that they want to do, and they say, "How can I do this?" And I would say, "I don't think you're going to be able to do it. Just to be honest with you, and I don't want you to have your hopes up." I mean, for example, people say, they want to, make so much money on here, or they want to win every contest, or they want to become number one. Some people can, and some people can't. You just got to know what your limitations are. Like when I came on here, I didn't really understand it, but once I understood it, I said, yeah, there's certain things I know that I can do, and some things I can't do. So you got to know your limitations as well.
Well, I definitely appreciate it. I wanted to call that out. I definitely
Mhm.
appreciate
Mhm.
that time. Before I go into the fun questions, these have
Mhm.
been some pretty tough questions,
Yeah.
right? I'm Wild West. If you guys are brand new into it, this is my show. What would you do? It's a leadership scenario. It's every Thursday night at 8 p.m. I want to appreciate my two guests, NorCal, Marty Party. Next week, my two guests are going to be Jenny the Queen Dragon, if you know who she is, and then Blake
Mhm.
Premier. Both amazing, amazing people. So I appreciate.
Absolutely. You got a stacked lineup. Super proud of you.
Uh,
This is an amazing show. You're going to do
Great
really
job,
well.
Wanda.
You just
Great
keep
job.
on at it.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. So let's go into the fun questions, right? These are some interview questions that I'll either tend to ask or it's been asked by me, and there's no right or wrong answers to it. It's really how your mind works and how you would approach the problem, right? Here's one: if you woke up and had 2,000 unread emails and it can only answer 300 of them, what would you choose to? Which ones would you choose to answer?
I get me AI. AI personal assistant. That would definitely be me right there. I you know what? That's never really happened to me as far as emails coming at me that quickly, but I do have that rapid um, sense of urgency from staff members, and while I'm trying to set up procedure. Emails are not my thing because I don't do admin work. I am on the floor, on my feet, in gloved up, masked, doing that kind of work. But as far as a sense of urgency, I definitely pick what needs to be done first. And a morning huddle is always good for me. That way you can look, that would be my comparison to emails. That would be my opportunity to inform the team where we need help in certain areas. And then the communication for other staff members to let me know if they need additional help and how we can change the schedule around, or if a patient needs something particular in a surgery. So a lot of my communication is um, verbal
Okay.
communication. I do a lot of documentation, and I do treatments, and I write notes, and I put that all in the computer. But a lot of it is just sitting down and grabbing a cup of coffee in the morning and just looking over the schedule and making my little chicken scratch handwriting notes, and letting everybody know that this is what we need to do. So you're wearing the hat, you've got the hat. It's a huddle, and then 8 o'clock comes around and we say break, and then everyone scatters like ants.
Mhm. Yeah. I guess for me, I actually do get a lot of emails, and it is very important to kind of figure out which emails you need to get to first. Some systems are better than others. You have some that are like, it might be like two tabs. One might be like things that you focus on, they go right there. And then there's another one that's kind of like an other thing, or more almost like a junk mail, where you know that anything that goes onto this tab, it's probably not that important. These might be solicitations, things that are coming from outside that are not relevant. So you focus on the things that go into your main folder first. Then you also look at who's sending you the emails. An email from your boss or an executive at the company, you got to answer that first. Or emails from clients, you got to answer those first. Emails from friends, family, you can wait on those. Emails from, if it's from a potential vendor, it's like somebody who's trying to get your business, those wait. A lot of times you get inundated with sales emails. People want to say, so how is the proposal? What do you think? What are the next steps? I want to come meet with you. No, that has to wait. You got to take care of your own company first, your own clients first, everything else, wait. So And when you act on an email, you got to put it somewhere. I remember when I was in public accounting, the main partner came in. He didn't like it when you had a whole bunch of emails like in your inbox. He wanted zero. So either you took it and after you read it, you printed it out, you put it in a folder, you delete it, or you move it somewhere else. At least get it out of your inbox. That would just totally drive him crazy because a lot of times people would get emails, it would have attachments on it, it'd have important messages. They would just leave them in the inbox, not do anything with it. It just really bugs people. So you got to act on every email that you do, whether you like delete it, move it to a folder, or print everything out.
Yeah, that's what I do is I set up rules. So all my, like Marty was saying, right? All my direct my people I supervise are important, right? And my executives.
Right.
I have it tagged. It pops up. I don't even have to look at my inbox because it'll pop up and let me know you got a message right there because they're very important. Those are the people you want to take care of. And, I don't have clients working for a hospital, right? But I do have business customers like, NorCal and her team. I have the surgical areas. I have, all those and those key people you want to respond to. And guys, I can tell you from being in the a lot. It really means a lot to be acknowledged in an email that I took my time to write, even though if you don't have the answer to it right then, please open that email and say, I acknowledge that you sent this because it means a lot. That acknowledgement means a lot, right? That I've heard you. So that's one of the biggest things I teach my teams. And here we got 7 minutes, so I've got three questions, but I'll go into one more. Um, If you could only choose one song to play every time you walk into a room for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I'll let Marty go.
Mm.
It's a party with Marty Party.
Yeah, I've always been really fond of the song Gasolina. That was like my main song. My Daddy Yankee. Everybody knows me from that song. That's how it became really popular on the app. Because of that song, dancing with people because of that song. Trying to sing along with it. Just really love it. Just love the music. Love the lyrics. It's a lot of fun.
NorCal?
Oh, is this in the workplace?
Anywhere, anywhere.
Uh,
It's an interview question, so yeah, in theory, yes. It's
I was just trying to, well, at work, we listen to classical music, and my boss will not allow us to change the channel, even if it's, we're not seeing patients. So I listen to a lot of classical music. I can appreciate that. But, as a DJ, I like to do open format. And there are so many song choices that I would, in fact, choose. But my favorite song, during the pandemic, I listened to the Knox. I was turned on to the Knox during the pandemic. And there was one song that stood out, and it was called Classic. And it's a really cute, like little lovey-dovey romantic song. Um, I'm a romantic by heart. So, there you go.
I,
Aw, Cameron.
I didn't even, the song that I keep hearing in my streams lately is "Staying Alive." Right? The old '70s "Staying Alive," walk with the strut and all that kind of stuff. I think that might be it. I think so.
Get your bell bottoms.
So we're about 4 minutes. I wanted to give time for each of you, whatever you got going on, whatever you want to promote, and then I'll close out with what I'm doing and you know and my show. So NorCal, if you want to go.
Absolutely. If those of you who do not know me, I am NorCal. Been on the app for a gazillion and 5 years. Not really, but it feels like it sometimes. And it's been such an amazing journey. Absolutely love it. I am the DJ Battle host I throw these little parties in my stream, and people come in and they dance and they watch DJs. If you need a DJ for any event, please hit me up. I will hook you up. If you have a Millie party, if you have a anniversary party, if you have a birthday party, if you have a top badge party, please let me know in advance. And even if it's short notice, I can hook you up. I love being behind the featured show content creators. It's an amazing community. I have a gazillion and five things going on. So if you hit me up on Instagram, you'll see all my banners. Recently just did Marty Party's birthday party. It was epic. It was the
Yeah, that was
I
great.
was the
Thank you so much. A lot of
party
fun.
planner extraordinaire, and you're so welcome. And I'm very humbled
Mhm.
that you allowed me to do that for you. And then he was a judge on the battles, the DJ Battle
Yeah.
season 12, and he was amazing.
Thanks.
So we like to have fun. That's what live streaming is all about.
Marty.
Right. Yeah, I'm working with Heartbreaker on. I'm going to be a judge on on a dance show. So we are looking for contestants to do a dance. I believe it's going to be the Macarena. But feel free to reach out to me or reach out to Heartbreaker. Um, you know, we're trying to do, or I mean, she came up with the idea, but trying to get people to dance and have a lot of fun. And I'm trying to do more shows where I'm actually a guest, rather than a host, and spending more time in other people's streams than on my own. I still stream daily, maybe like about 3 hours a day or so, but I'm venturing out. I'm looking to see what other things are going on. I'm always going to be in auctions because people like to have me in their auction because it adds a lot of value. Saying, yeah, I'm doing an auction. I got the number one streamer in there. Um, yeah, even if I don't always have
Mhm.
people that are bidding a lot on me, at least by me being in there, it helps their auctions out. And it gives people who maybe want to have an excuse to come in and see me who haven't seen me for a while too. So I still do those types of things. So look at my Instagram or Snapchat, and I do promote every time I'm in an auction or a battle or having some sort of a show. Uh, please check that out.
No, definitely, definitely. I get your IGs, and you guys, I can tell you if somebody takes the time to send you their flyers, please repost it. I mean,
Mhm.
we're spreading the network, right? So I've got a lot of.
Absolutely. Networking is key on the app. Yeah. And support is, support comes in so many different ways.
Mhm.
It could be in the
Right.
stream, it could be supporting by diamonds, it could be, getting a streamer on featured shows, it could be behind the scenes as an admin helping these up and coming featured content creators. Just find your tribe.
Yeah. So I've got a fives battle tomorrow night against KK.
And I'm also in the fives battle as well against Emoji J.
Miss Tawny purposely put that together, so I'm looking forward to that. And then that
Kudos
night,
to her.
yeah, later on that night, I'm doing Triple L's auction.
Oh,
Yeah.
So went out to help support her, and then Saturday night, Triple L asked me to do some event for her. She hadn't given me the flyer. I don't know what it is yet, but I told her yes. So I don't know. I have no idea. But and then Kraken's paranoia paranormal show on Sunday. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do. So I think that's going to be really
She has
cool.
an amazing show.
Yeah, I hadn't been on it. I hadn't seen it yet, but she asked me to be. So I'm definitely going to. I love doing the support and getting out there supporting. I did Krabby's last week, so I like to be on a lot of shows. A lot of shows. So
Super important to get yourself out there. Get out there on those meet me streets, boys. Get out there on those meet me streets. They're scary sometimes, but no, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Spend more time in other people's streams than on your own.
Marty, it's always,
Yeah. So I look at it.
yeah.
You
Well, your
see people.
community is built.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, you see
Okay,
people
your
they
community is
grind.
built outside your stream.
Yeah, a lot of people they stream 24 hours. They're only always on their stream. They're grinding it. They're wondering, why is my stream slow? I'm streaming all the time. Why don't I get more support? I'm always here. I'm like, yeah, because you're always there. You never venture out and go out other places. It's very,
Yep.
very important.
So I'm gonna close it out. I appreciate both of you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much,
Marty's a
Wild West.
pleasure. It's
Thank you,
always a pleasure
NorCal.
to
Thank
be
you, everyone, for coming.
on a show with you.
Yeah, Marty, I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate your help when I first started streaming. NorCal, you've been helping me with this show behind the scenes. So
Mhm.
definitely, I
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
you guys. So, guys, I'm gonna close out this Wild West. This is my "What Would You Do" leadership. Um, I do it every Thursday at 8 p.m. If you want to be a guest, please contact. I've got a couple admins here, Flav, Shadow. Reach out to them. NorCal's here. Reach out to them, and definitely, or reach out to my Instagram, which is in my link. Hit us up, hit me up, and we'll definitely get you on. All right, guys, I appreciate. Thank you. Thank you, Flav. Thank you, NorCal. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yes, you can end the recording emoji. I'm sorry. I appreciate. Thank you. I appreciate your time emoji. Thank you. Who said that?